Welcome to Project Universe, a Kaiju Universe remake that actually might legitimately be a problem. There was that other one that was kind of derpy, but it was like so silly that it was never actually serious. This game here seems to just straight up want to recreate Kaiju Universe. Like, look at even the badges, dude. This is exactly how your game gets deleted, by the way. Having like this kind of purchasable stuff in a Godzilla game. This is when Toho's like, all right, bro, hang on. The game says it's entering its beta stage soon, which is like a very early stage of development, but I mean, it looks pretty freaking early. There's 4 kaiju so far. Also, just a legitimate shout out to the real Kaiju Universe. That was like the best freaking Roblox game for a long time. Still, hopefully one day it returns to where it once was. Even when stuff like this comes out, we always got to make sure to still show love to the real Kaiju Universe. Like, it built everything, bro. Like, it may be gone right now. As far as Godzilla Kaiju goes, it's still pretty awesome on its own, but it was the freaking blueprint, bro. It was like it was the OG. It always does. Like, this is an abomination. See, Kaiju Universe's beauty just is freaking, honestly, this game did lose a lot of fans once they lost Godzilla stuff, which I get. That is what we all grew up on and loved. But as far as like Kaiju Battlegrounds goes, like these are still like the best Kaiju by far in any freaking game. I will always be a Kaiju Universe supporter regardless of like anything that goes, because the game just did so much for us and the Kaiju are still pretty cool. I still do just freaking hope that one day this game does get popular enough so they can like cut a deal with Toho to bring in a Godzilla Kaiju. But I feel like Toho really screws games over if they do that. Like, Toho keeps 99% of the money. So even then, I don't know. Maybe I hope Kaiju Universe developers are just low-key making these other illegal games on the side. That'd be pretty funny. Maybe deep down, I just hope that these Kaiju Universe developers are the ones making illegal secret games on the side for quick money. That would be hilarious. Dude, I wish the city looked like this back in the old days so freaking bad, back when it was Godzilla Kaiju in here. If Tokyo had looked like this, that would have been the coolest crap ever. I used to make a bunch of videos where I'd shrink down to like the size of a human to experience what it would be like here, and having an actual airport to go into would have been such a game changer. This game sure is freaking beautiful, but yeah, back to that abomination. All right, let's go see what this stuff does. I did already get a kill with one of these earlier. It was pretty dope. My skills, unfortunately, are undeniable. Okay, so I just joined the server with like 6 people on it. There's no one in this game because you have to pay 100 Robux to get in, which I regret doing. I only did it for the content. I would never have done it normally. Look at these 2 mechas beating the crap out of each other, though. That's freaking beautiful. Haven't seen this kind of stuff in a like they really properly stole everything. I think currently we only have a few moves. They don't have their atomic breaths yet in this game. It does have that beautiful roar, though. Damn it. There will be moments in this video where I'm like, yo, this is beautiful, but it's just because I miss Kaiju Universe, not because this is actually beautiful. Back in my day, a freaking max level 1954 could probably kill 2 Mecha Godzillas if it was really aggressive enough, but I don't think we're really doing much here. Although I am beating the crap out of those. I want to just assume those guys are friends, but whenever it's 2 Mecha Godzillas together, you gotta wonder if it's a little more, you know what I mean? Does anyone down below remember my level 105 Mecha Godzilla the developers gave me? It had 1 extra point than every other Mecha Godzilla. Didn't make it any better whatsoever, but it was like a power flex, bro. It was, I'm walking on water. What pisses me off most, actually not really, I don't actually care, but what does confuse me is that this kind of stuff could exist, but the other Kaiju Universe won't do it. But I think that's because the other Kaiju Universe is legit building itself up as a non-Godzilla game. People may talk smack about Kaiju for not having Godzilla Kaiju in it, but I'm pretty sure out of all remaining Godzilla games, it's the last one still actually making like a good amount of money. So like, it is still a business. It is obviously fun to just have this kind of stuff, but ultimately it is a business. Like, it does require a lot of their lives. Obviously they need money. How else are you supposed to get Ferraris and fat chicks? All right, let's check out another Kaiju. I'm pretty sure none of them have atomic breath in this, unless it does seem to be updating, but I don't think so. Which sucks, because there's nothing I'd love to see more right now than some blood vomit from a Shin Godzilla, I think. That's not what that sounds like. All right, so we've got the gill sweep, right? Distorted impact. This is messed up. Freaking Verrett personally used to be the one to freaking design these moves right here. That was my buddy. All right, so grotesque body slam. It's messed up because if like an obese person fell over and you called it a grotesque body slam, you'd be a villain, obviously. But when this guy does it, it's totally fine. The double standards make me sick. Could we destroy buildings for XP? So it's not even from the best era of Kaiju. If you're gonna rip off Kaiju, at least go back to the best era. When we could farm points by like nuclear pulsing buildings. Back when you could steal kills from people by just getting the last hit. Those were the days. This game is empty as my soul. All right, let's go check out another, which understandably so. Paying $1 to play this is what used to be free is pretty messed up. You can't change their skill points or stats or anything. And as far as the badges do go in the shop, it's all pre-order, which means it could be coming whenever. But it might actually, if this game actually manages to stay up like this for a long time, I'm going to be so insulted on behalf of Kaiju Universe developers. Like, bro, it's only a problem when we post the game, huh? Like, I'd be so upset. That Mechagodzilla does sound good, though, but it is obviously just an audio MP3. There's those moves, dude. This was my favorite kaiju in this whole game. A lot of people don't much care for the new Mechagodzilla, the Titanus. They prefer the older ones, which are awesome too, like, for sure. But there's some speculation over every older, like, Goji robot being able to easily decimate Mechagodzilla 2021. I don't see it that way. Look at this dude's evil eyes. Like, they're just red beams looking at you. No, he's far too evil. He's not being killed that easy. What sucks is we have his rival roar, which was good, but we don't have his laugh roar. His laugh roar was like the best part. It was like the first kaiju to laugh, which was, I guess Godzilla does it too. That movie was crazy, dude. Kaiju were just laughing at each other, beating the hell out of each other. It was sweet. But Mechagodzilla laughing means that, like, Monster Zero would laugh too, which just resonated with me so beautifully. And then Shin Godzilla for the final one. It is just crazy, because obviously this game is pretty crappy right now. Like, barely has anything right. That is a Godzilla noise, but it's just in a very early stage, meaning they have a lot of stuff planned. Like, it's not even in beta yet, meaning there's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff added. But the thing is, Kaiju Universe developers put years into that stuff, freaking years into it. So it's like, to be able to think you could just I guess the difference is, though, the Kaiju developers had to freaking create it, where these guys just have to steal it all, basically. So maybe it could be recreated with a lot less effort. There's a chance this might actually happen, which is crazy. But of course, it'll get taken down because Toho doesn't mess around with that stuff. If I can go back to the menu, can't go back to the menu. Piece of crap. The menu doesn't work. This is what I'm talking about, bro. It's just not gonna be there. I just missed this UI right here. G cells freaking kills 1000. I feel so bad for like FDA and a few people. Like, there were people with like level 1000 Manilas that took decades to get. For Toho to just delete that, I'll never 100% understand, like, why would you hate your fan base so much? I understand the point was to hurt the game, just have the game taken down, but you gotta realize, thousands of your most devoted fans put thousands of life hours into that. It's pretty crazy to just shut it down. The current challenges are just welcome to Project Universe and New Year's. Calling it Project Universe is crazy. You know what you're doing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below about all this. I do not recommend you pay Robux for it. Not even just to, like, protest on behalf of Kaiju developers. More just because there's nothing to do and there's infinitely better things to spend $1 on. I'm sure the developers would appreciate some financial support in these times, but at the same time, bro, you're pulling assets from someone else. Although that I also feel bad, because it's probably just like a huge Kaiju Universe fan who wants to recreate stuff, but you sure are charging a lot of money to recreate stuff, which makes me think it's not really purely like just out of love for the game, but more so because you want money, which is bad. Which is a bad reason to do this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.